What is your Tinder horror story? Got a Tinder notification on my phone, realized I don't have Tinder, and was holding my girlfriend's phone. Showed up to the restaurant, waited about 30 minutes, ordered myself some food, and was about to leave when he texted me, "There's a liquor store across the street from the restaurant, can you pick me up to 6 packs?" I told him I wouldn't. He says he's decided to play frisbee with his dog instead. Deleted app, went to liquor store, picked up wine and went home. He texted me for a month or so after to tell me he's just bought tickets to see me dance. I'm a retired ballerina, haven't been in anything for a few years. Then he texts me an hour after and tells me how great I was on stage. I never responded. Dating is too confusing. I'm all done. Tinder guy was apparently engaged when we met, and while we were dating, also found out 2 weeks after the fact that he got married. We had still been talking every day. Met a girl at her work at like a moment's notice. She was a waitress and there was literally nobody else in the entire place. We talked for a few hours, then another dude shows up to meet her from Tinder. She would later blog about the experience and describe me as dull and unattractive. She apologized to me the day she posted it. No hard feelings, I just thought it was a crazy story. There was this guy, he was a solid 10 in his pictures. He messages me, asks me if I want to meet up for coffee, so I say yes. He messages me and tells me that I have to pick him up. Okay, whatever, I'll do it. I pick him up and we decided to go eat instead. He's super funny and cute, so we hang out some more after dinner. Then he pulls out his phone and proceeds to tell me that he has a son and his baby mama took her to Washington, but has no idea what part or anything with him and he hasn't seen him in months. So he then takes out his phone and tells me to go through a folder on his phone of pictures of his son. Like 300 of them. He sat there and made me look through every single one, and he would tell me the backstory to basically every single video and photo in that folder. I felt so bad, but man, I was happy when he left. That whole date just got so weird after that. He did some more stuff, but those are good stories for another time, lol. Matched with my cousin. That means your cousin swiped right too. Wincest? Tin breeding? Kinda. This was back when Tinder first came out and wasn't quite as known as a hookup app. We met and had a great first date. Second date was even better. Things kept going for about 2 months when she told me she went out with me originally in an attempt for a dinner with schmucks type thing where her and all her friends would bring the worst Tinder date. We both really liked each other, but I couldn't get over how we started. Talked to a girl a few times. Set up a date. She calls me a couple hours before we are going to meet, saying she's busy doing something. Bullshit excuse. She cancels. At about 11 PM I get a text message that just says, "Can you come over?" or something similar. Being a mix of lonely and bored, I said what the hell, closed my self-sympathy pizza box, and hopped in my car. Halfway through the drive, I get another text that says, "Can you get me some food?" Sure. She wants a 20-piece chicken McNugget with extra BBQ sauce. Very specific. Super weird, but fine. Munches. Show up and she seems maybe drunk or something, so I give her the food, and she insists I stay, and we watch TV. She's watching the movie Powder. If you haven't seen the movie, it's super not date friendly. We make small talk, I have a beer. I'm not gonna push anything, because obviously the girl's got something going on, so I'm ready to bow out. The movie ends. She stands up and very bluntly says I'm going to bed. I don't know if I'm going to F you or not, but you can stay if you want. She was cute, and I was eager, so why not see what happens? I hop in bed, while she's in the bathroom. She comes into her bedroom, climbs on top of me, her hands on either side of my head. She leans in, I think. She's going to start kissing my neck, and then I hear her start snoring. Very loudly. I'm dumbfounded. I lie there for a moment thinking about what I should do. This is interrupted by her ripping the hugest fart. I don't use Tinder. However, my roommate loves it, and she's brought back numerous visitors. Which is fine, except for the fact that the apartment is tiny, and we share a room. And also the fact that my roommate doesn't really care what I end up seeing. And, as it turns out, most guys don't care about having another girl in the room either. Some take it as an opportunity for a threesome. My roommate is my Tinder nightmare. I went on a date with a guy and the entire time he was talking about how men are superior and how there have been scientific studies to show that women have an emotional reaction to the color red when they see it. I wonder why he was single. Should have asked him, if men are so superior, why aren't you trying to date a man? Because I can't F a person I respect. I've been on quite a few Tinder dates. Most are pretty standard dinner / drinks / occasional bang etc. This isn't really a horror story, just the one that sticks out as the most bizarre / funny. This girl, we'd been chatting for like a week or so, hit me up around 10 PM on a Sunday night and said she'd be in my neck of the woods on her way home and wanted to see if I wanted to hang out. I did. So she comes over and she's got a bag of Mexican food with her. So I put on an episode of Always Sunny and she busts out a monster bean and cheese burrito and a carne asada quesadilla. She asked if I wanted any, but I had already eaten. So this skinny, mind you, girl puts down both of these effing things in like 10 minutes. Just destroyed like 2 pounds of food. She wipes her face off, grabs my hand, rubs her tits with my hands, and gets up and goes, "Welp, I gotta go. You can tell your friends you at least got something out of it." Never to be seen again. I'm still in love with her. I dated someone I met from Tinder for a month. Seemed good on paper, master's student, yoga teacher, cultured, etc. Found out she was doing heroin and didn't consider that a big problem. I actually had to explain to her the definition of a high-functioning addict because she felt that having a job and going to school meant the heroin thing wasn't a problem. We broke up and she went back to her junkie ex-BF. Bullet dodged. My sophomore year in college I was talking to a girl that went to a university about an hour away. After a few months she invited me to her 21st birthday party to go out with her and her friends. She says there's gonna be a big party and I have to come. So I decide to make the trip with 2 of my fraternity brothers. We show up to the party and it's only my Tinder girl and her 2 roommates with no one else in sight. Awkward as F, because the 2 roommates weren't going out or drinking that night. So me and my buds try to make the best of it. We try to start beer pong, flip cup, quarters, you name it, but I kid you not the birthday girl doesn't play because drinking games are illegal. My jaw dropped to the floor and I knew I had effed up. So me and my brothers hit up our fraternity's chapter at this university and they say we are welcome. After some convincing we managed to get my Tinder girl to come along with us. Somehow my 2 friends managed to get a little ahead of us as we start to leave the complex. As we are walking the Tinder girl sees cops and flips the F out saying how we are going to get in trouble and we need to go back. Keep in mind she just turned 21 and we have nothing on us. So my friends keep going to the party and I couldn't ditch her because that's where we are supposed to stay. So I take one for the team and go back to her place. We end up watching the Lizzie McGuire movie. Things start to heat up and I begin to think this wasn't so bad after all. Wrong. She informs me she's on her period and refuses anything farther than a maquillage. I try to convince her but nothing. Then she tells me she can do a little trick for me that will make me happy. I have no idea WTF she is talking about, but I say go for it. She proceeds to lick me from one ear, under my neck, all the way to the other ear in the most unsexy manner ever. I'm left with slobber all over me. The licking proceeds, even after I tell her she can stop, and my friends drunkenly stumble in hours later from the party. We run out of there as early as we can. Then I get a snap from her after a few hours, when we made it back to my university. It was her and her 2 friends with the condom that had fallen out of my pocket sometime that night. And it gets better. Over 2 months after that whole episode without any contact she messages me and asks if we are gonna be boyfriend/girlfriend or not. I have never Tindered since. A little backstory. A few years ago I was dating this girl and her father really hated me, which was a bit odd as most parents love me, or at least lie about it real well. He was just a huge prick and I always called him on his shit. Anyways, her parents got divorced, we broke up a few months later etc etc. Fast forward to around a year later. Me and girl from Tinder were dating for a few months and things were starting to get serious. We are at the point where she wants me to meet her family. Mother, stepfather, little sister. Why not? I have no problems meeting them. Let's do it, I said. She told me how excited her stepdad was to meet me. As it turns out, we both happen to be Kansas City Chiefs fans. Well, F me if it wasn't the same asshole father of my ex-girlfriend. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.